Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So I'm doing a reading for Blu-rays. You don't know what a Blu-ray is, specific type of soul group. The message that I'm getting is there's something heavy, like a heavy feeling, a heavy energy, a heavy circumstance approaching, okay? I don't know what it is. But let's go ahead and start pulling some cards. The structure of you is being, I heard, compromised. Attempts to compromise you, the way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself. That's not uncommon for parasitic things to do that. It's really very common, actually. When parasitic things are, it does feel like it started yesterday. When parasitic things are attempting to enter your space, they can't do that so long as you have stability. Whether it's emotional stability, stability within your home. Well, at the root of it all, it's emotional. Okay. Because what happens when your home is in disarray, when there's conflict in your home, emotionally, you're not stable. You feel stressed out. You feel weighed down. All of those types of emotions. I don't know what this feeling is about. I suddenly have such a heaviness and sadness. I know that it's not mine. I have no reason to feel sad or heavy. It's almost like this tightness in the chest. Like, I kind of want to say like a longing. I don't know if it's a longing to be acknowledged by you. I've been having that a lot lately, where there's a lot of things or people who are insisting Blu-rays. Protect your space at any cost. Whatever the cost. Protect your space at any cost. It doesn't matter what you lose. It doesn't matter what type of connections, relationships, whatever it is, at any cost. Protect your space. Protect your peace. It's really, really important to do that right now. Okay, like this time period that we're in. It's very, very important to do that. You will experience quite a few challenges. Circumstance and individuals who will try and challenge you to agree with them, to give way to whatever the demands are, to bend over backwards to the point of your back breaking. And when your back breaks, you're like, oh, well, what about me though? They don't care. Okay. They have zero regard for anyone else. And these are the very people who are the best at manipulating you, at using whatever it is to try and get you to feel bad enough to value their demands above your needs. And you'll know who these people are when you state your need. They always have something to kind of let you know that their needs are more important. These are the people who don't value you. Okay? They value what they can take from you, what they can gain from you. Unfortunately, there's just quite a few of those people in this world. And unfortunately, many, many Blu-rays have such a hard time saying no because we are such highly sensitive empaths. We have such a hard time saying no. We have such a hard time, even when people are users. We have such a hard time establishing and maintaining boundaries. And it's not that you're weak. It's that your ability to love without condition, without limitation, is being exploited. Recognize when that is happening to you. And you don't have to be okay with that. You don't have to be okay with that. You don't have to force yourself to be okay with people being that way. When people can't respect your boundaries, they got to go. They have to go. Let's see. This one. All right, so something heavy is approaching. That's funny because the heaviness that I felt was approaching absolutely felt demonic to me. It felt legit demonic. Interesting. All right. Yeah. Okay. So this is definitely telling a story. It's definitely telling a story. So card number 5, clinging to the past. It's time to change whatever it is that's causing your perception to enslave you by chaining you to something in the past. It's almost like this sense of it's not just one thing from the past. All of these things that people have said, all of these words that create confusion and chaos within you, as you receive these words, it further confuses you. And it's not as vivid and colorful as we think. If you look at that, it's the concrete wall. So it's just like a, I even want to go so far as to say fakery. Okay. It's like a fakery. It's this playing a role. All right. Michael is talking about how Blu-rays have a tendency to exude such power, like a regal type of energy. And when people are around it, they notice that. And the Blu-rays who did not fall from grace, they definitely have this like protective type of energy. They also, in addition to all of that, they also have this, for lack of a better word, humbleness. They don't really need the attention. They don't need you to like give them all these accolades and whatnot. So people are drawn to that. And you have to be really careful. The message that I'm getting, you have to really be careful about the people who consistently need your help. I mean, if you need my help one time, hey, maybe you made a little bit of like a misstep, or, you didn't really think things through and now you're in a not so good situation. Everyone needs a little help here and there, everybody. But if it's a consistent thing where they consistently get themselves in the same situation, where they consistently refuse to allow themselves to grow because it's much easier to have you do it, to have them 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 do it, and then come back around and be like, I'm so, I can't do anything myself. It's bullshit. Parasitic behavior. It's to feed off your energy, feed off your energy, feed off your energy. And that leads to exhaustion. Are you being exhausted for a reasonable cause? Or are you being depleted because it's easy to deplete you, to get the attention from you, to get your full energy. A lot of times when Blu-rays are going to help somebody, they give it their all. They really, really just give it their all. They have a tendency to ignore everything else, and we're just focused on you. I'm just focused on you. I'm going to get you through this. We're going to solve this. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. And in reality, I mean, are you helping them solve things, or are you enabling the feeding off of other people's energy? You have to be aware of what you allow yourself to get into. There's a lot of depletion that's being done right now. If you're not mindful of where you put your energy, if you're not mindful of enforcing boundaries that have already been set, that's definitely not a good thing. Okay, it's definitely not a good thing. And when people begin to use phrases that cause feelings of guilt, obligation, those are absolutely red flags. Absolute red flags. If they never really valued your opinion, if they go to you for advice and you constantly give advice and you spend all these hours listening to them and giving advice, and they never heed your advice, are they coming to you for advice, or are they feeding off of your energy as you pay attention to them? Because those are two very, very big things. Very different things, not big things. It's a big red flag. And then when you realize this and you're like, yeah, I don't know that this is a healthy thing anymore. When individuals begin to use like phrases like, you're all I have. I mean, unless I'm your parent, your spouse, your sibling, because there's no other family. I don't know about that. If it doesn't feel right in the heart, don't allow yourself to be confused and feel bad. Hey, so stress, and here it is. Look at the monkey. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And you don't even realize it. There's a lot of things that are going on that are we really paying attention to where we're headed within ourselves, like the lessons we're walking towards? Are we paying attention to what is surrounding us at this point? I know for me personally, I've been just very insulated. Ooh, 94% at 5:45. 94545. That comes out to 999, which is 27, which is 9. So this is about finding your inner divinity. Okay, really just recognizing you are directly linked to your own divinity. You have your own energy. Right now, you have to work on you. Going back to what I was saying, I am totally insulated right now. Like when people try and trigger me or say hurtful things in comments, I'm just like, no, remove. That's it. I just don't. It's not that I'm exhausted. It's that I'm conserving my energy for the things that matter. Right now, I'm focused on growth. I'm focused on healing. I'm focused on assisting people who actually need the help. These are just really important things for you to consider. Are you helping someone who really needs help? Or are you helping someone enable some toxicity? You have to be very mindful of where your thoughts go. Card number 14, compassion for others. Compassion for others at what cost? If they're already trying to blind you to whatever it is they don't want you to see, how does it serve you to blind yourself? It doesn't. It doesn't. As empaths, highly sensitive empaths, the Blu-rays who are here now, we have a tendency to want to believe the best in people, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. We have a tendency to be able to see feel, know their potentiality. Beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to see where someone's growing into, where they have the potential to grow into. It's a whole nother thing for us to think that it is our job for someone to reach their potential. That creates this like really, really unstable, very precarious type of internal situation. And this monkey down here, that represents your mind. Your mind is the very thing bursting the bubbles that come from root chakra energy. This is why you can't ground yourself. You're allowing your mind to go completely like woo out of control. You got to silence it sometimes. That's why meditation is highly recommended by so many people. That is a practice of silencing the mind. This is not about the technique. It's about you finding the quiet that you need. And if you have so many other things that really aren't your things, you're going to find a very, very heavy load on your shoulders. And it's not going to take long to do that. It's not going to take long for so many other people to deposit their lessons on you. And as empaths, we have this like habit of really just taking ownership of other people's pain. It's one thing to help someone by like being present, giving them a shoulder to lean on, just listening. And it's a whole nother thing to make their stuff yours. Okay. And this is a lesson that's really, really hard for me. I struggle with this all the time, where I hear someone's situation. I just want to help. I just want to fix it, you know? But what am I taking from them by doing that? You're taking away a stepping stone that leads them closer to their potentiality. Okay. So card number 18, let chance play its creative role in your life. There you go. This is what I was just talking about. It's time for us to kind of just take a seat. Have a seat and really just observe your life. Where is it taking you? It's a constant question of where are you going? Where is it taking you? Let's ask ourselves, what is the it that's being referenced? Where is it taking you? Is it your mind, your thoughts, your worry, your stress? Is it someone else who's creating, causing, maintaining that worry and stress? Is it something else, something you're not even aware of right now? Okay. You have to allow yourself to take a seat, catch your breath, and really just observe where you've come from and where you could be heading. Card number 33, love the darkness. For many of us, this period is a very agitating period. This agitation causes what's settled in our auric field to rise back up. In order for us to clear whatever it is we need to clear, traumas from earlier in life, karmic bleed over that's affecting our life right now, it has to be allowed to rise to the surface of our field of awareness. If it's stuck in the mud, you're probably not going to find it. If you've ever dropped something in the water and you're at a swamp, you're probably not going to find it again. That's real hard. So that agitation is causing things to rise up. A lot of us are probably, if you haven't already begun, you probably will begin to experience periods where dark things, dark circumstance, dark individuals will be allowed to stand before you. And that's allowed to cause the agitation, to cause that trauma-induced accretion. If you're going to focus on the individual, that's the equivalent of you receiving a package, and instead of opening the package and focusing on what you've received, you're focused on the delivery person. Okay, so let's see. Card number 44, playful. You can't allow yourself to take this life so seriously. Okay. I just, right before I came live, I happened to see a notification of someone complaining that I laugh too much. Well, I'm a happy person. I'm happy in my life. My life is not perfect in the definition set by society, but it's perfect for me. I have all the circumstance that I need right now to grow myself to levels that I could never have reached without experiencing the struggles I'm experiencing right now. I'm not bitter. I can laugh at myself. I can laugh at life, and I can share my laughter. I'm enjoying my life. It's hard. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of things that I can worry about, that I do worry about. But why would I ever let something take away my laughter? That's giving something or someone so much power. Should I be ashamed for being a happy person despite my circumstance? Should I be ashamed that I have no fear to show all aspects of myself? Right now, I see, because I always, I always can get like verification within the comments after the live is done. I'll see how the comments are. And it's not necessarily that I need someone else to validate it by saying like, oh, this resonates with me. I mean, it's nice to read it. It is. But that's not what I go to the comments for. I look for the people who have not nice things to say. And that's how I know these are the things that us as a society, us as a collective whole, this is the lesson we're working on together right now, individually, but also together. This whole, you're not allowed to be who you are. And the comments before the not wanting me to laugh is that I'm not allowed to show emotion. This is not the platform for that. I mean, the whole channel is emotion. That's the funniest stuff. All the readings are for Pisceans who are full of emotions that have to be suppressed. Because guess what? Society tells you you can't feel that way. You can't express these things. It's bad. It's embarrassing. And I'm here to tell you that's okay for them to believe that, but you don't have to take it in as your truth. You can allow yourself to remain playful with yourself, with other people. You can allow yourself to continue to enjoy life. You can allow yourself to feel what you feel. Be sad, be happy, be angry, be, I don't know, lonely, whatever it is. All of these feelings are telling you something. They're helping you to see what is going on within you. So if I'm feeling sad and I don't know why, 88% at 5:55. Ooh, 62, 24, 2302. I'm just this, if I'm sad and I don't know why, something's going on in me. Something is going on with me. I need to figure it out. I need to understand myself. And me not expressing myself creates more blockages. So I have to express myself. Do I express everything about me on live streams? Nope. I don't. And it's not really my place to try and make sure people know, like, I only share about 5% of my life on live streams, and nope, you can't feel like you know me. That's not my place. That's not my place to rob you of whatever you're experiencing. But does that mean I'm really the open book that everyone just assumes I am? No, I'm a very private person. Very, very private person. So you have to have loyalty to yourself. Thank you, Aurora. You have to have loyalty first to yourself. You are a master ascending. Card number 33. 33 being the number of the ascended master. Loyalty to the self. What's Stevie Ray mean? Anyways, loyalty to yourself is so important. If you can laugh, then laugh. If you feel like crying, then cry. But never betray yourself by trying to accommodate other people who really, I mean, what's that going to do for me? Is that going to grow me? Or is that going to further suppress and oppress me? When you have an entire world of human beings who don't have to agree with you, who can see you in whatever way they choose, Why do we let that one person affect us the most when there's 50 or 60 who praise us, who lift us up? That's kind of how the human mind works. Remember that little monkey trying to burst your bubbles. Okay. So let's see. Risk. You're taking a risk by allowing yourself to free fall back into your greatness. This is a necessary risk. Some things in life are unnecessary risks. Some risks are necessary. In order for a business to grow, it has to take specific types of risks. Those risks can pan out, or they can be an utter flop and totally destroy the company. But those risks are necessary. Thank you, she said it. If you don't take those risks, I don't know. If you look at all the very, very successful corporations, before they became corporations or absorbed by large corporations, they had a story. Oftentimes that story was probably a painful thing, involved tremendous amounts of loss. How many of you know about Victoria's Secret? So I used to work for Victoria's Secret, right? I used to do makeup for them. One of the store managers was telling me the story about how Victoria's Secret came to be. And it had to do with a woman named Victoria. And if I remember right, her husband loved her so much. She had a lingerie company. It didn't do so well. And then she died. And he was so heartbroken that he sold the company. And then it became what it is now, after it was absorbed by a larger corporation. So if he didn't take that risk, where would that be right now? MAC was the small company. MAC stands for Makeup Artist Cosmetics. They were a very small company. I did some work for Benefit. Those were two sisters who were very, very quirky. I think they sold out to Estee Lauder buys everyone. That's how you know your makeup is good. They'll buy you. But that's the thing. You have to take that risk. You know, if your goal is to reach a certain level of financial success, just as an example, you have to be willing to take that risk. And if you're not going to grow. In life, in spirituality, you have to take that risk. With me personally, one of the biggest risks I ever took was allowing myself to trust my husband, because I have trust issues. I just do. I've always had trust issues. And it was very hard for me to trust that he's not going to screw me over, that he's not going to lie to me, that he's not going to do this and do that. You know, all these different things. Like, has he ever done any of those things? Nope. That was a huge risk that I took, allowing myself to be vulnerable, to depend on him. And how did that play out? Beautifully. It helped me to grow so much, grow in my spirituality, grow in my sense of self, grow in my abilities, grow in my comfort being in my own skin. I mean, yeah, he is responsible. In my eyes, he's responsible for a large portion of my growth. And if it wasn't for him and that risk that I took, trusting him, being vulnerable with him, you'd never see me live streaming. I'll tell you that much. You'd never see me live streaming. No way. No way. So card number 11, diving for light. You have to now dive deep into yourself. You have to find the trenches within your heart's oceans. Find the deepest one and dive into it. Once you reach a high point, you'll understand just how deep the lowest point can be for you. That's because nature, creation loves balance. And for every high point, there is a low point that matches it. So say we have my aunt, who's a fucking genius. She was telling me about, I don't know what she was going off. I don't know what started it. But she was talking about how for however tall the mountain is, the sea beside it is just as deep. And I was like, what? um, there's no super chat subject. We're just kind of talking about depth. You have to find your depth. You really have to begin losing your fear of swimming in your own water. So many of us have this feeling of like, what if I drown? Do babies drown in their birth water? Your waters can't hurt you. It's your belief that you have to hold your breath that hurts you. You don't have to hold your breath. This is your life. You don't have to pause in your growth just because someone hasn't given you permission to continue growing. No one's ever given me permission to grow. That's just me. And in that challenge, that demand for me to be more normal, that's why I'm so not normal. It helped me to grow in my sense of self because I got so mad as a child when people would tell me what to do. And so now I'm not, you know what? I'm not going to do what you tell me to do unless it resonates with me. And if you're going to be mad that I didn't do what you demanded I do, join the rest of the people that are mad at me. I don't care. You know, it's this thing of recognizing everything you've been through in your life is helping you to get to a higher point and deeper depth of self-acceptance, self-discovery. You are worth the process that you will endure to receive your truth. And this truth will not be delivered to you by someone else. There will be people who will come across your path who will be reflections of these truths, but oftentimes even that reflection is distorted until you clear away all that disharmonic feeling you have about yourself. You're never going to see yourself the way you actually are. And sometimes people will be brought to you to encourage you, to kind of prop you up for a little bit so you can just catch your breath. But no matter what, this journey has to be done by you and you alone. No one can carry you through this. Thank you, Melinda. So yeah, I'm at a point where it's like, I'm not carrying anyone. I'm no longer willing to rob you of your learning potentiality. I'm no longer willing to compromise myself, my health, my wellness, my inner balance. Trying to pull someone in who does not want to be pulled in. It's like the most frustrating thing to keep throwing out a life raft, like one of those circle thingies, a lifesaver. Keep throwing it out and the person just keeps throwing it away and like, oh, I'm drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning. And you throw it to them and they throw it away and they're like, no, you have to come in here and get me. I don't think so. I'm out. And the people who do this, they're brought to you for a reason. It's not because they're bad. It's not because they're selfish and evil and F them and be angry. And I mean, you could do that if you want. That's not what this is about, though. It's time for you to recognize these people are gifts to you. Your soul is gifting you an opportunity, a hands-on, tangible opportunity to choose yourself. The BLUERAYs came into this life not to save humanity, but to stand as a testament as to how humanity can save itself. And how do we do that? By allowing other humans to witness us in our process of self-preservation, self-realization, self-actualization, vulnerability, authentic truth, all of these things. That's how other people will learn to empower themselves. How many of you have become empowered listening to me go out on my tirade, cussing people out in the comments? I mean, it's not the best behavior. I will absolutely agree with that. It is not the best behavior. But I will tell you this as well. I never used to behave like that publicly. Michael tells me to. You know why? Because it's important for you to understand now. There's nothing spiritual about wearing a muzzle. There's nothing spiritual about laying down and letting people trample all over you. Divinity exists within you. And if you're going to defend something, if you're going to protect something, if you're going to honor something, it's that inner divinity. Because when you do that, when you choose your own divinity, your own inner peace, and other people witness it, and you have no shame in owning your life, their shackles begin to loosen. Their muzzles begin to loosen. Holy shit, it's not just me. Oh my God. Oh my God, this girl is talking about me. That's my life. Oh my God, that's my same struggles. We all have the same struggles, you guys. It doesn't matter what your bank account looks like. We all have the same struggles. We all hurt over the same types of things. The nuances and the details might be a little bit different, but it still feels the same. Betrayal is betrayal no matter who does it. Whether it's your spouse of 20 years or your sister who's been your sister for 20 years, these are people that you've allowed in. And when they betray you, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It doesn't matter what you have in your account. It doesn't matter what your job is. It still hurts. And when people find each other and are able to support each other in their hurt, not by bashing other people, that's not support. That's enabling toxicity. It's not to bash other people. But when you can sit with someone and just sit there with them, knowing you're not alone, that's huge. That's huge. If you want to help someone else, you don't tell them they're in a hole and they need to get up and stop being dramatic. You don't tell them what they need to do. The most powerful way to heal another person who has fallen in a deep hole of despair is to sit quietly with them, the bottom of that hole, right beside them, and just sit. Listen to them breathe, and just sit. In your physical presence, the gravity of you eventually gives them an idea of, whoa, wait, where am I? I'm in a hole? Yeah, it's okay. We're here together. We'll stand up soon. You're almost done. Don't worry, you're almost done. You know, things like that where you know how it feels like to hurt and you can just kind of sit with them, okay? Not carry them, not drag them out, not scold them for not seeing that they're in a hole. And that's what we need. This is what we need as societies, as individuals, to know we're not alone. BLUERAYs, we are not alone. We never have been. There was never a separation. There was never any of that. We came into this individuated experience to experience the same thing in so many different ways at the same time. Because creation is efficient, okay? So card number 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. This heartbeat that goes beyond the mind, this is the heartbeat of your soul. No matter what, that heart will continue to beat. No matter what, so long as that heart beats, it is the baseline for the song of your heart. And who sings on this song? Your soul. It's a way for your soul to get you the messages that you need, first filtered through the heart, capable of so much compassion and grace. You have to turn it on, though. We live in societies that have effectively caused our heart song to be left unheard. Turn on the volume. Really listen to it. When you're able to sit in stillness, you're able to hear your heart. What does it mean to sit in stillness? It means, you know what? You have to let other people handle their own things. You have to stop inserting yourself in things. If you're doing that, it means you have to allow yourself to be alone and single if you're struggling with that. It means so many different things. We find so many different ways to distract us from our own path, our own lessons, our own growth. So many, I do this too. I absolutely do this all the time. I'm supposed to do something specific. Oh, Oh, that person needs help. Let me go help them real quick. I'll get back to this. Don't worry. I'll do it. Don't worry. I'll do it. I'll get back to this. Let me help them first. Oh, you need help too. Let me help you. Don't worry. I know I still have to get that done. I'll get back to them. Let me help them. Oh, let me also like start sweeping. Let me reorganize the closet. Let me reorganize the kitchen. I do all of this shit. A huge heap of clean clothes have been washed. It's been sitting there for like 3 weeks. The moment I have to do something for me, oh, those clothes have been there for so long. Let me just organize that real quick. We have to recognize when we do these things. We have to recognize when our heart is trying to sing to us and we're trying so hard not to hear it, okay? Card number 29, seeing the true you. We're already naked in our truth. We are already sitting on the throne within our hearts. But if you're going to refuse to acknowledge where you're at, and you're going to choose to continue to look at muddled, very, very murky things for your reflection, it's going to make it very, very hard to see the true you. If you can allow that even murky water to become very still, it can be a good way to see your reflection. That's why I love the darkness. Sometimes we have to recognize that when we look at our own shadows, we're looking at some of our truths. Because the shadow is really everything about you that you deemed not okay. Because someone else told you or made you to feel like it's not okay. 74% at 614. 7 plus 4 is 11. 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus 4 is 11. 7, 4, 7, 4, 11, 11. So now you're, 11. 2 plus 9 is 11. Okay. So now you're recognizing the need for something. Maybe I'm not saying exactly what you need, but what I'm saying is helping you to understand what it is within you. And that's a good thing. Card number 13, new beginnings. How many of you want a new beginning? In order to have a new beginning, you first have to have an ending. New beginnings only come after endings. So end that relationship, end that friendship, end that toxic cycle, end that job that's draining you because now you have a new job. Whatever it is, if you want a new beginning, you have to first end whatever it was that was killing you from the inside out. So long as that necrotic venom is allowed to course through you, it's going to continue to necrotize everything it comes across. So you can't save flesh that's become necrotized. It's dead flesh. It won't heal. It will just begin to rot. When you begin to do this internal work, you will find the areas within yourself that have become rotten. And not rotten because you were spoiled and now you're a bad person, but rotten because you took too long to address that, to look within yourself and see these parts of you that were wounded and the wounds were never allowed to heal. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. When you can see these things about yourself and really acknowledge these things, do you know how much courage and strength it takes to be able to do that? So if you think you doing this process and you're now going to just like see all these I don't want to see myself weak, that's where you're weak. That's the point where you are weak, where you're afraid to even look at yourself. But if you can find that courage, you know what? This is my life. This is what I've lived through. And damn it, it's ugly, but God, the beauty that happened after, the ways in which I grew, the ways in which I learned. Sometimes we have to really just recognize some of the most beautiful souls They come from such dark, painful history. If we look at seeds, they're buried before they can grow. I mean, we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see where we'll find this knowledge. Card number 5, the knowledge comes with change. The knowledge comes with change. If you allow yourself to change the way you see yourself, truth comes rushing in. Emmie, how did you do your journey? How did you do your path? How did you get to where you're at in your understanding of yourself? I stopped denying who I am. I stopped being embarrassed to be who I am. And all these things that people constantly tell me they admire the most about me, those were the things that I was the most embarrassed about. No joke, literally. Oh my gosh, I mean, I love how sassy and like you got so much fire. Oh Lord. Oh Lord, you mean my ghetto ass attitude? Holy shit, it's so ugly. I cannot believe I let people see me behave that way. But you know what? It's my fucking truth. I'm not all rainbows and sunshines. I am dark clouds with daggers in my pockets, smiling through the pain. That's my truth, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not embarrassed to share it. I'm not embarrassed for people to witness it. I'm not embarrassed for you to critique me, because guess what? That's not an assessment of me. That's an assessment of how far you have yet to go to understand me. And hey, we don't need understanding to exist, right? There you go. Oh, here we go. I just looked at this. Card number 32, trust your own understanding. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? I love it when you tell people, I don't. I don't. I don't. But, you know, I recognize it takes a certain type of disrespect, whether it's verbalized or it's an energy projected at me. You know what? It takes a certain amount of that, and once I've reached my cap, you're getting your ass capped. I shut it back down. But that's who I am. I can't hide it. I'm not a bitch. I mean, I could behave like one if I feel like I have no other option, but am I? No. And I have to stop denying the warrior inside of me, because every time I do that, every time you do that, you create a war within yourself. Because how many of you, after, you know, someone has just been really ugly with you, you kept your mouth shut because I know better. Oh, I should have shown more compassion, yada, yada, yada. And then for the next 2-3 weeks, maybe even 2-3 months, how many of you sit there and think about, I should have said this. Fuck that bitch. I should have said that. I should have told them. La, 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 la. Yeah, I'm done living like that. I'm going to spit it out. It is what it is. Hey, if you leave, you leave. If you stay, you stay. We can work it out. We can move past it. Beautiful. But I'm not quieting myself up anymore. Nope. 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 And I swear, I see my mom cringe every time I say bad words. And, you know, she totally would be like, why always this packing? What the fuck do you mean, Mom? Come closer. I'm going to slap you. Gotta catch me first. Yeah. All right. So card number 23, communion. You have to allow your masculine and your feminine to come back together. When you exist as a totality, whatever load you have to carry within this life, it's no longer heavy. Okay. This is not about a twin flame, twin rave. This is about you collecting all your parts and putting yourself back together. And if you don't know how to put yourself back together, together, just get out of your own way and let your soul do it. That's just it. You have to let your soul do it. Hold on. Communion. Hold on. I have to just, because there's a secondary message. The sharing or exchanging of intimate thoughts and feelings, especially when the exchange is on a mental or spiritual level. What? Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. That was it. Whew. a relationship of recognition and acceptance between individuals. Ooh, okay. Wow. So trying to just kind of steer clear of as much religious topic as possible. When you take communion, that's when you receive the body and blood of Christ, represented by the bread and the wine. So I'm reading here, spiritual or symbolic act of receiving the presence of Christ. So if we put that in terms that are not confined, limited by religion, this is you receiving your Christ consciousness. I mean, you don't have to eat bread or drink wine to do it. This is about you receiving the parts of you that are the most sacred because of the way this world is designed. Those are usually the parts you value the least, are most ashamed of, and keep hidden. Stop hiding it. Stop hiding it. Stop allowing yourself to continue to be oppressed by continuing to participate in this system of oppression. Just stop. If you're going to let the very people who participate in this program dictate to you the kind of person you are, and they don't even realize they're participating in a program that was designed to perpetuate separation, division, oppression, subjugation, yeah, I think you're not qualified to tell me shit about my life. It's always like, for example, the people who don't have children who give out the parenting advice. And I'll say it, not all parents should give parenting advice either. But it's always the one who has the least amount of space to talk, that loves to talk the most. Don't listen to them. Why would you take advice from someone whose marriage is failing and they're trying to advise you on your marriage? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can't even make yours work. Why would I listen to you? So I could follow your footsteps? But you're walking through caca. I don't know. Every time Joey has an accident in the house, how do I step in it? No one else does. Just me. Just me. Only me. Got me walking through the BS. Okay. So, we were just talking about this. Card number 34, vulnerability. 3 being a solid foundation from which to find 4, yourself. Yourself. You need to allow yourself to establish a very solid foundation from which to allow yourself to grow. Okay? So many mirrors. 73, 37, 66% at 626. Mirrors. Card number 37, ideal course of action. And this is what I'm talking about. All of those people who subscribe to draconian measures, trying to force you to keep your power confined, limited, bound. They're trying to dictate what you listen to, what you even look at. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's time for you to really just allow yourself to live and be who you are. There's nothing wrong with you accepting you are who you are right now, and that there's nothing wrong with you, and that you're perfectly you in this moment. Because the human mind somehow assumes that when I say I'm perfect in this moment, that I believe that there's no room for me to grow. If you're perfect in this moment, that means you recognize you're changing with every moment, and there's always room that's held open for your growth. I mean, that's like the equivalent of how we're programmed to believe that if I say I'm a good person, I'm amazing, I'm like cute, that's me saying you're not. This world is crazy. It's crazy. Like, oh, my kids are hella smart. Are you saying my kids aren't? No, I'm talking about my kids, not yours. What the hell? Okay. So let's pull 3 more cards from this deck, and then we are done. All right, so let's pull 4 cards from this deck, and then we are done. So 4 cards fell out. All right, let's just put all these cards right there. That's embarrassing, though. So the reason I'm only pulling 4 cards from this deck and we're done is because I'm eager to get back to my Chinese soap opera. I'm just saying, it's getting real good. Okay. So Michael says, I'm not ashamed that much, just a little bit. Okay. So card number 4, the Emperor. Use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized. A firm but compassionate leader. So this is my life advice, okay? I want you to organize all of your worries, all of the things that you struggle through the most, okay? You take all of those worries, organize it in descending order. So whatever's the most stressful for you, put that in the front, okay? Put that towards the front. And then just like make a list of all the things that you worry about, okay? So we're getting organized. We're going to use logic and structure, okay? So after you write down all of those worries, go outside, start a big ass fire. You can use a barbecue pit. Start a fire and burn the list. Problem solved. Those situations will continue to exist with or without your stress. What's the point of stressing? Burn that list and get things handled instead. Instead of worrying and worrying and worrying. Forget worrying. One of my brothers comes up to me and he's like worried. I'm a little cockahead, okay? He's like, man, flu season's coming and I'm exposed to all these people at work. Man, he's so stressed out, right? He's super stressed out because he's worried that our brother with the heart condition will catch COVID. And I'm like, you're stupid. He has been to how many hospitals where there was COVID? He's a fucking cockroach. They can't take him out. He will be fine. Why are you going to worry about all of this? He's a fucking roach. He will survive a nuclear blast. You're probably going to die from COVID, but he's not. We're more at risk than he is. And he was just like, you're fucked up. And I was like, I don't know why you look for things to worry about. Like, obviously, I was joking. Not really, but joking in the way I said it. But it's true. Are you going to be afraid of what might happen in life to the point where you're crippled and now you're in a shitty circumstance? Or are you going to take note of all the different potentialities? Okay, we'll handle it when we get there. If we need to handle it, we'll handle it. If he gets a cold or, heaven forbid, COVID, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. Whatever way we need to, we will deal with it. But I'm not going to sit here and live in fear and affect my own immune system by being worried all the time of things that might or might not happen. So we have to really be mindful of what we allow ourselves to stress about. We have to be really mindful of how this stress, this worry, this fear can translate as I don't trust you, soul. So now I'm going to wall myself up. And as I wall myself up, I'm going to block all my abundance in all its forms. Definitely not good. That's definitely going to affect your energy. It's going to affect your immunity. It's going to affect your ability to provide for yourself. It's going to affect your ability to create happy, sustainable circumstance for yourself. It affects everything. It affects everything. Emmie, why are you always just laughing all the time? Don't you have any problems? Oh, I have plenty of problems. Plenty. I have plenty of problems. They're still there. Whether I worry about them or not, they're still there. I still got to pay taxes. I still got to pay all kind of stuff. Um, it gets paid when it gets paid. The things that are important is my priority. Those problems that you have will continue to exist with or without your worry and stress. So create a structure for yourself. Understand that whatever you're going through will be resolved when you're done learning whatever it is you need to learn in that circumstance. It's true. It's absolutely true. When I learned what I needed to learn in the circumstance of being in an old RV in a parking lot for months on end, yeah, I immediately was able to leave the parking lot. Ain't that some ish? Isn't that? Isn't that some ish? That's just how life works. There's no point. Just learn what you need to learn if you want to get the situation finished. Card number 2, the High Priestess, trusting your intuition, careful reflection before taking action, insights that come through meditation. This is about you really being able to harness your ability with intention. This is about you giving yourself permission to call in your power. How many of you are worried that if you start tapping into your abilities, people will think you're evil? People will think, oh, you think you're better than everyone. People will think whatever it is they think. Hey, you know, they're going to think that no matter what you do, right? No matter what you do, they're going to think that. It's true. It's true. I played by the rules for how long? I did. I kept quiet. I did whatever people wanted me to do. I tried my best not to step on any toes. And they still did that. So now I'm like, all right, y'all bitches not gonna know. I don't care. You're gonna do it anyways. The people who have the ability to think negative things about you, the honest truth, they probably were already thinking those things about you. And they were just waiting for an excuse to justify their condemnation of you. Let yourself hear what they have to say. Does it resonate? Is that really you? No? Okay, keep moving. People have said time and time again, this is fucking hilarious to me now, that I sold my soul to demons in order to be able to do the work that I do. I mean, if you want to believe that, sure. Okay. I have other things to do. Me and my demons have other things to do. We have other people to talk to. Whatever. Let them say whatever they're going to say. 7 of Winter. There is a better choice. Not seeing things clearly. Running away from the truth. Yeah. Okay. Running away from your truth. There's a better way to... There's a better way for you to live. And that better way is authentically, where you allow yourself to exist in your authenticity, not the manufactured authenticity we see on social media, where, okay, now someone is posting a picture of their stretch marks, so I'm going to post a picture of my stretch marks too, because I want to be relevant and authentic. The people who do that, like, authentically, like, you can tell, and it's beautiful. But the people who do that for the gram, 3 of Autumn, follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do. Being compensated for your creative talent. There you go. I mean, I don't even have to explain that. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. What if growing yourself is one of your careers? What if you're supposed to have multiple careers in this lifetime and growing yourself is one of them? Ooh, took on a whole new meaning, huh? Be the best at what you do. I'm going to be the best Emmie that I can be. With or without approval, I'm going to be the best Emmie that I can be. So being compensated for your creative talents. When it comes to soul doesn't really deal with money. That compensation, I think this is about not just giving your energy and your attention away anymore. about allowing that to go to you. It's not a selfish thing to make yourself a priority. It's really, really not. And I tell you this, okay? This is one of the most profound things I came to realize. The people who feel bad, who question if it's a wrong or hurtful or selfish thing to make themselves a priority, are the people who have given so much of themselves away that there's nothing left for them. Just like it's the mothers and fathers who question if they are good parents that tend to be the best parents. It's the ones that never question their parenting that tend to be really like, whoa, I don't know if you should have kids. I don't know if you should keep the kids. Yeah, I'm concerned. It's always, that's how it plays out. It's the people who are always so worried about their health that usually end up being the people who do something about their health. So if you're worried that making yourself as a priority is a bad thing, you're being selfish and greedy, you're probably never selfish or greedy. You're probably the person that continues to give and give and give. Even if you have nothing left, you give. And if you have nothing left to give, you find something else to give. You find a way to give. You know, Michael told me one year, he got real frustrated with me and he just got in my face, like our noses were touching. He got in my face and he said very slowly, "Who do you think you are that you can exempt yourself from the group you promised to love?" I was like, oh my God, are you mad at me? And I never care if he's mad at me. But our noses were touching. Who do you think you are that you have the authority to exempt yourself from the group you promised to love? And really, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are that you can't give yourself love the way you give it to other people, the way you give it to the people who are the least worthy of receiving that type of unconditional, limitless love? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So don't wait for Michael to get all up in your face. He smells really good. He does. It's true. I don't know what the smell is. Like, I don't know if it's like if you took peaches and put it in a crystal. That's I don't know how to explain it, but he smells really good. It's like crystal peaches or something. I don't know. I wonder, is that his fruit? Hold on. Like a citrusy peach. Hold on. Okay. Orange and pomegranate. I don't think pomegranates smell like peaches. I don't know. He smells like peaches. Okay, I gotta go. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space with me. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on your notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'm off to watch my Chinese soap opera. See you guys. Bye.